You're watching the Kansas City Chiefs Report, and today we are presented by Magic Spoon. Guys, go check out their different flavored cereals. I love the frosted, but there's tons of different options available for you guys. Cocoa, fruity, and a tons of other ones as well. They're delicious. They're healthy. It's magicspoon.com/Chiefs. You can get $5 off your first order. All right, it's Overreaction Monday in the NFL, so let's talk about the biggest topics around the Kansas City Chiefs right now. Number one, can the Chiefs have a championship defense? Tyrann Mathieu threw this out there after the game on Sunday. This feels like a big overreaction, but we'll talk about it. He said this, quote, "We could be a championship defense. We've been to the championship the last 2 years, and I think after a while you have to play a certain way." Well, how about let's get back to being an average defense before being a championship defense, all right? I love the attitude from Honey Badger. He just refuses to accept anything less than excellence, and I respect that. But let's chill. Let's take a step back. Have the last 6 quarters been much better than the rest of the season? Yes, but Washington stinks. Let's be honest. Hopefully this team is trending in the right direction on the defensive side of the ball, but let's not act like all of a sudden after a good game and a half, this defense can get back to an elite level. Like, let's just get out of the bottom, 3 or 4 teams in the NFL on defense, because that's where the Chiefs sit right now, which we will outline here in just a few moments. But big announcement here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Starting next Monday at 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central Time, we are going to launch a Chiefs Report live show. So join us next Monday. Spread the word. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're almost at 21,000 subscribers. Went to the bosses and said, hey, I'd really like to go live on the Chiefs Report every week. They're like, boom, let's do it. So next Monday, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central Time, we will be going live with the latest Chiefs news and rumors. Plus, we'll be able to answer more of your questions. I've been wanting to do more mailbags. That'll be your opportunity to get on the show. So mark your calendar, subscribe, and join us every single Monday, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central Time. Back to the defense. So, again, the last game and a half have actually been pretty good for this defense. The second half against Buffalo, the defense actually only gave up 1 defensive touchdown in the second half. That's pretty good against Josh Allen and company. And obviously, outside of 1 busted coverage on a Taylor Heineke touchdown, which that was bad, but the rest of the game was really good for the defense against Washington. Again, against a bad team, but you need any momentum you can get right now. But I need to see a lot more. Like, a half of football against Buffalo when the game is already out of reach and a good game against a bad Washington team, that's not going to make me, just flip on a switch like, boom, okay, this team can be a top 10 defense again. I'm just not going to overreact like that. You look at the defensive numbers as a whole this year. Points per game allowed, 29.3 a game. That's 28th in the NFL. Yards per game allowed, over 410 yards a game. That's 28th in the NFL. Passing yards per game, 277. That's 25th. Yards per game on the ground, 27th in the league. Only 6 takeaways, tied for 19th. It's not like, this defense after a game and a half is all of a sudden in the top 20 in any category, really, other than takeaways, where they're tied with several other teams with only 6 through 6 games. That's only 1 per game. Easy math on that one. I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic that this defense is getting better, but let's just get back into the top 20 in some of these categories before we're talking about an elite level like Tyrann Mathieu is suggesting. Do you trust the Chiefs defense yet? Type Y for yes, type N for no. We're going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get hit with a YouTube ad break right now, scroll on down. That'll be the pinned comment. Just give me a Y, give me an N. Once that ad is done, come back up. Video will be back and playing. Keep rolling here on Overreaction Monday. How about trading for Marcus Maye? We actually talked about this one, I believe, last week. He was on our trade targets video. But The Athletic kind of did a what's the latest around the NFL trade deadline, the latest trade buzz, and they suggested that Kansas City should look into trading for the veteran Jets safety. Now, he obviously had a big contract dispute with New York this offseason, ended up having to play on the tag so far this year. And it doesn't seem like they're super motivated to extend him. I don't know how motivated they are to trade him, though, either. Obviously, the Jets are not going anywhere this year, so they would, like to get a nice draft pick for Maye if they were to trade him. I will say, if the price isn't too high, I would have interest in bringing Marcus Maye to Kansas City because the safety play next to Tyrann Mathieu hasn't been very good. They just benched Dan Sorensen for Juan Thornhill, so it's nice to see Thornhill back in there, but there's a reason they weren't playing him up until now, because he just really hasn't been that same player since he tore his ACL in Week 17 of his rookie year. I'm hopeful Thornhill the rest of the year can get a little bit better and get closer to returning to that form, but if he can't, and the Chiefs don't think he can, maybe bringing in a guy like Marcus Maye makes sense. We know Brett Veach is always an aggressive general manager. He's going to monitor the trade market. In 3 games this year, Maye, statistically hasn't done much. 1 pass breakup, no interceptions, but again, he's missed 3 games and the Jets stink, so you can't take that, too literally early on this season. Maye's a good player, certainly a starting caliber safety. You put him next to Honey Badger, that's one of the best 1-2 punches in the secondary in the National Football League. Should the Chiefs trade for Marcus Maye? Type T for trade, P for pass. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'm definitely interested because I think he would provide a nice little upgrade at the safety position next to the Honey Badger. And he's definitely better than Sorensen, probably better than Juan Thornhill, for being totally honest. So go ahead, type your T for trade, type your P for pass. Let me know if Kansas City should trade for Marcus Maye. Tell you a little bit more about our sponsor today, Magic Spoon. I told you off the top, delicious cereal, and it's healthy as well. Let's dive a little bit more deeper into why this cereal is so good. The health benefits, which we continue to hammer home to you guys, are really fantastic. I've eaten cereal my entire life, and obviously as a kid, when you're eating, you're not really worried about all these sugars and fats that come with some of these foods. But as you get older, you just can't eat that garbage all the time. Luckily, Magic Spoon cereal is very nutritious. It's high in protein. It's only got 4 grams of net carbs. Most cereals have 30-plus grams of net carbs per serving. And Magic Spoon, most importantly, 0 grams of sugar. They have mastered delicious tasting cereal while keeping it healthy. No one else is doing what they're doing with their cereal. It's sweet, it's delicious, it's low in carbs, and it's very high in protein. Get $5 off your first order. I've got the frosted flavor right here. That's the bowl I had before today's show, but you can try whatever flavors they have. They have 10 plus available right now. Go to magicspoon.com/Chiefs. Get $5 off that first order with that link. That link, of course, will be in the comments and in the description. All right, let's keep it rolling here. Jody Fortson tore his Achilles. That is officially official, and this sucks, right? I mean, he was just starting to kind of make a name for himself. This guy is, really grinded his way into being an NFL player, was a wide receiver in college, transitioned to tight end, put on some weight, battled through training camp of the preseason, makes the 53-man, and had kind of carved out a little role on this team. He only had 5 catches for 47 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns through 6 games. Kansas City has been looking for that secondary tight end weapon next to Travis Kelce for years, and I kind of thought maybe Fortson long-term could be that guy. Now, all of a sudden, his season is lost. We hope he comes back healthy and better than ever, but it's definitely a setback for a guy who's really had to earn his way in Kansas City, so that's a bummer. Maybe we get to see more of Noah Gray, the rookie out of Duke, but definitely a big bummer for Fortson because he's really had to work hard to get to this point. If you hate injuries, just type H in the comments. They're not fun. No one likes to see them, whether it's your team, your most hated rival. It's just not a good situation when a player goes down, especially with the serious injuries. So type H if you hate injuries and if you want to support Jody Fortson. Couple more here. How about another trade idea? Bring back Emmanuel Ogbah. The Athletic also mentioned his name with trade rumors because he's with Miami now, played with Kansas City back in 2019, had 5.5 sacks that year. Since joining the Dolphins, he's got 2.5 sacks this year, had 9 a year ago, 11.5 sacks in a season plus in Miami. He's a nice little pass rusher, and let's be honest, this pass rush for Kansas City, just not good. It stinks. Chris Jones has been banged up. Frank Clark's been in and out, and when he has played, not that effective. Did have a couple of quarterback hits yesterday, so that's nice, but he's not getting home at all. This pass rush could certainly use a lift, and Emmanuel Ogbah's been a pretty good player for the Miami Dolphins. He was a pretty good player for the Chiefs a couple of years ago, so I would definitely explore that. That's probably more of a cheaper option than Marcus Maye, although it wouldn't be super cheap because, like I said, Ogbah's been pretty good the past year and a half. So who would you rather have? If you had to pick one, you want a guy in the secondary, Marcus Maye, type MM. You want a guy in your defensive line, type EO for Emmanuel Ogbah. Get your votes in down in the comments. I'd probably lean Ogbah because I think the pass rusher's been that bad and he'd be a little cheaper, but I could be swayed either way. Go ahead and let me know. All right, let's talk about this Jackson Mahomes drama because he's back in the headlines, and that's never good. And let's just kind of get to his tweet, and I'll explain what happened. He tweeted out, "I want to sincerely apologize to the family of Sean Taylor for being on that number at FedEx Field, and they directed us to be there, blah, blah, blah." If you haven't seen this yet, so him, Brittany Matthews, Patrick Mahomes' fiance, and a few other people who I've not been able to identify were in the roped-off area at FedEx Field because they were honoring Sean Taylor in his number 21 jersey. Of course, Taylor tragically passed away several years ago, but one of the greater safeties in NFL history. Washington's finally honoring him, which, by the way, they took like 2 days to decide they were going to retire his jersey, called their family up, and they're like, what? We have to be there this Sunday? We're not planning this at all. The whole thing's very strange. So Jackson Mahomes, who's a TikTok star now, decides to do a TikTok on his number that's painted on the field, and he's dancing around, so he has to apologize for it. The whole situation is weird because it's poorly planned by Washington. Why do they rope off the number and then let people into the roped-off area? I don't know what's going on there. And then also they planned this jersey retirement like 2 days before the game. The whole thing's sticky. It doesn't make sense. I will say this. We don't know we don't know Patrick Mahomes' family specifically. We don't know Patrick Mahomes specifically, other than what he's doing on the field and what he says publicly. His family members tend to not keep their mouth shut, though. It's really weird. His mom's all over Twitter. His fiance's always bitching about the refs as well. And now you got Jackson Mahomes, who's having to apologize about a TikTok video. And it's just a lot of distractions. Let's just get this out of the way. And I'm just going to flat out ask you guys this. Is Patrick Mahomes' family annoying? They're kind of annoying, if we're going to be completely honest. Doesn't mean they're bad people by any means. I'm not saying that, but they're kind of annoying. You got to be honest here. Give me a 1 for yes. Give me a 2 for no. I don't really care what his family does, but it seems like I can't watch a Chiefs game without seeing 50 tweets from someone in his family. Just wanted to throw it out there. 1 for yes, 2 for no. We'll see you next time here on the Chiefs Report. Plus, live shows starting next Monday, so subscribe, spread the word, and we'll see you guys throughout the week.